Hey guys, welcome to the first episode of Blueprints. I wanted to leave a quick intro here to let you know a couple of things. First, I use a green screen to draw notes on screen as I play, but sometimes I forget to take it off screen. For critical moments where you need to see stuff, I have done a little bit of editing to make sure you can see everything. Second, this video, along with future Blueprints videos, was live streamed to this channel. I plan on doing more of these in the future, since even after 20 hours of playing, there is still a ton of threads I haven't fully tied up yet. If you want to see these streams or future streams live, make sure to subscribe so it shows up right in your feed. All that being said, I hope you enjoyed the video. How's it going? It's your boy Pie Man. I learned that I can do something a little fun, so I figured we'd try this game out, Blueprints. It's a little weird to be playing something that's like algorithmically relevant while it's still relevant, but it's fine, whatever. I got a little blue crown for my character here. The other fun thing we've got going on this stream is I have the ability now to take notes. Amazing. I'm using a mouse here, so my handwriting isn't going to be like amazing or anything, but basically this is the kind of game that, you know, supposedly you have to take notes about everything, so I plan to do that, you know? But anyways, let's jump into the actual meat and potatoes of the game. Without further ado, let's start game. For some reason the game isn't updating. This is really awkward. You guys are just seeing the title screen. Oh god, wait. Okay. So, I was busy trying to figure out how to get this thing to display, so we might want to restart just so we get the full intro cutscene. So I might hit new game immediately here, but that's okay. For some reason, my gameplay capture is just frozen, and then my display capture shows everything that's happening. So we'll just play with display capture for now. Very, very strange. We're gonna do a new game though. While this is happening, maybe we'll take some notes.
S. Sinclair of the Mount Holly Estate at Reddington, do publish and declare this instrument my last will and testament, and hereby revoke all wills and codicils heretofore made by me. I give and bequeath to my grandnephew, Simon P. Jones, son of my dear niece, Mary Matthew, all of my right, title, and interest in and to the house and land which I own near Mount Holly. The above provision and bequest is contingent on my aforementioned grandnephew discovering the location of the 46th room of my 45-room estate. The location of the room has been kept a secret from all the staff and servants of the manor, but I am confident that any heir worthy of the Sinclair legacy should have no trouble uncovering its whereabouts within a timely manner. Should my grandnephew fail to uncover this room or provide proof of his discovery to the executors of my will, then this gift shall lapse. In witness whereof I have hereunto set my hand this 18th day of March, 1993. Herbert S. Sinclair.
Okay, so few things here that we've kind of got from the intro here. So this is presumably me, Mom, G-Paw, I guess we'll call him Grandpa. We'll kind of get into the actual gameplay here, but hopefully this kind of gives us like a little starting point for when we're trying to start more stuff here. So I know that kind of the way that this whole game works is we kind of have to take notes about everything. So I'm going to kind of be annoying about this, I think, but we'll start out just by taking a quick peek. So only open in the event of my death, which means that he is dead, which we kind of assumed, but we'll see. Simon, welcome to Mount Holly. You may not remember, but I have fond memories of your many visits here as a young boy, and I hope these rooms provide you with as much amusement as it did probably me in those lost summer days. By the time you read this, I will assume you are fully aware of my last wishes and all the details of the bequest. Please do not mistake my intentions in giving you this challenge as a lack of confidence. I assure you nothing could have been further from my mind when I chose you as my heir. With that said, there are a few ground rules of this commission covered in the fine print that I feel I should bring to your attention. No tools or items may be brought onto the estate from outside. Tools and items found on the estate may not be taken off the estate, and you may not stay overnight. We're not allowed to bring tools in from the outside, so no, like, I don't know, power saws or nothing crazy. Anything we find in the estate, we can't take outside of it, which is, fine, whatever. And we can't stay overnight, which I assume just means that we're being forced off, right? And we might learn why these rules are important later on in the letter, but let's keep reading. I don't suspect any of these stipulations should prove an impediment for someone as resourceful as yourself, but it is very important to me that you start fresh each morning and not rely on the successes of the previous day. Okay, so don't rely on the successes of the previous day, which is, I guess I'm confused about why we're not reliant on the success of the previous day with these rules. Because we're not allowed to bring stuff from outside. Okay, that makes sense. And then we can't take stuff off the estate. That makes sense. Maybe it's like the tools reset every day. That makes sense to me, as like not relying and starting fresh. One final word of advice. Do not assume the rooms you will find today will be the same rooms as you find tomorrow. Okay. This is why the overnight rule makes sense. Because if we were to stay overnight or whatever, then we'd be kind of shifting through the estate as it, like, changes. The grounds have provided me a home for the last half-century, and even I am uncertain of which room lies beyond any particular door. Your grandmother used to say, don't go where the path leads, abandon the path and go where you want it to lead. We've got kind of a starting point. Let's see if there's any other... Okay. That is all of the stuff that we need from this guy. Here is a blueprint sheet. Blueprint. Haha. Hilarious. Access it by pressing tab. Okay. Here we go. Okay. So this is where we get kind of a view of all of the rooms. We're going to go back here real quick, and I think I'm actually going to just... Ooh, hey, what's up? You know what? This is going to be really awkward, but I guess here you go. Here's my stream layout. You guys get to see it as I'm working on. We're going to create like a little grid, same as the one we have here. Okay. First thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to start by numbering these rooms. I'm going to move this guy out of the way now. One of the downsides of having a display capture is, you just have like these really awkward moments. Because otherwise, we'd be stuck here, and, as fun as this is, not really that fun. So, anyways, now that we've got this, we're just going to write in all of these a number. Okay, so as we were kind of led to believe earlier in this whole thing, sort of the goal here is 46. What's up with that room? There is no room 46. My assumption is because the layout of this building is going to be really complex, we're going to have to get to the room, which might be a challenge on its own. I have a feeling that this grid will be helpful for me, and then some of these notes over here will be helpful for me. I have a feeling this is going to get to be a lot of note-taking, and we haven't even left the entrance hall. There's a handful of things we kind of need to keep in mind when looking at escape rooms and stuff. So first is cards like this are going to be important. Items we find in the room will probably be important. Items on shelves will probably be something we want to keep a note of. Time is usually sort of a hint to something. So this is something we'll want to look at. It's possible that there's hidden mechanics on statues or light fixtures. So we're just going to check to see if my cursor lights up, because you'll notice my cursor changes when I'm able to interact with something. Things that aren't important or probably aren't important probably don't need to make a note of the fact that this chair has two little wooden things on the top and 3 on the bottom. That's probably not important, because there's 2 chairs over here that are identical, that are completely different, and if we're literally trying to take note of every single thing we see, we're just going to go crazy. So we're going to take note of a lot of things in this room, but we'll be a little conservative about it. Okay, so where do we want to start? Probably this handwritten note here. Searching the estate can be exhausting. Each time you enter a room, you will lose 1 step. When you no longer have any steps left, you will be too tired to continue searching the manor and must call it a day. Okay, so we have a forced quit mechanic. Basically, forced quit mechanic is if we run out of steps, we end day. And if we look back at our last thing that we kind of wrote down here, in our search for room 46, we need to actually get to the room. And so the challenge here in getting to the room, I imagine, is going to be actually having enough steps to make it through. And I assume that number of steps is going to change as we explore through the mansion, or the estate, whatever you want to call it. Okay, so let's take note of some kind of key things here. So looks like in the bin here, so we'll denote the room number in red. So we'll say in the entrance hall we have the cane and looks like an umbrella. It looks like on the sort of desk here, maybe the candle lamp is important, but I think the 3 birds are probably the most important thing on this. So I'm going to take note of the birds for sure. And so we will say that is our rough understanding of how the birds look. And if we need any more specific notation for these birds, we can come back to it later. But for now, I kind of want to leave it there. And I will also include a candle lamp. And it's a little scuffed, but I can tell what I'm writing. So that is kind of this section of the entrance. It looks like the outside is open. Maybe that's something to note. Maybe force quit. So this is something we'll need to test at some point, is going outside maybe. My guess right now is that it's just going to force me to end the day. Okay, so next thing to look at is the clock. It doesn't... Oh, actually, it does look like it's changing time. Is it changing time with my game? It might be. Okay, that's something to keep note of. Actually, it's moving a lot faster than I thought it would. If I keep an eye on it, it's actually moving pretty darn fast here. So, okay, the time here probably isn't important if it's going to change. My guess initially was if the clock is frozen, the time could be the answer to a padlock or, some sort of code or pin code or something. But unfortunately, it is not frozen. So what that means, it is not a hint. Next thing that we want to take note of, and I think the last thing in this room, I mean, the flowers are quite nice here, but I don't think these actually mean anything. I guess we can take note of the color of the flowers. It's only 3, So we've got the flower colors, why not? And last thing we want to take note of in this room are these, it looks like playing card paintings. So we've got a hand. It might be important what kind of hand it is as well. It looks like a right hand holding an ace. It looks like an ace of, it looks like a spade. So that is one, and then the other one looks like a queen of diamonds, and it looks like a left hand. And we'll just add like a diamond here. So we got kind of the paintings as well. I still want to keep note of the clock because maybe time is important and time passing might be important. But for now, we know it's not like a code or anything. Yeah, I don't really know what the significance of the ace and the queen are. They're not number cards, which does make it a little challenging, right? Because if they were number cards, maybe you could argue that like those would be used for like some sort of number combo. We'll finally leave this place. So we want to figure out how to get probably to the antechamber is I assume what like our first goal would be. Because we don't have any notes about the antechamber, and it's the only room that we really can see from here. We can't interact with these doors, so we're going to do so. Okay, we get an option of 3 here. So we get a bedroom, a closet, and a hallway. I don't know what any of these really are. 2 items. Items sound like they're pretty useful, so I'll probably grab these, see what they are. And we'll take note of what's in this closet as well. This is going to get a little claustrophobic for a minute while I take some notes. Along with everything else in this game, my assumption here is we're not really going to be able to know what items the closet holds because it just specifies items and it doesn't specify what those items are. Anything non-specific, we're just going to straight up assume is RNG. It looks like we have 2 keys. We have a little key counter as well. Silver key, okay. I did notice there are more paintings. Or there's, 2 paintings in here. So it looks like, oh god, what the hell is that called? Like a pin? There's like a fir tree. These paintings might change, but I don't know that they do. So I want to keep note of it. We have that umbrella again. Might just be like a through line here. But I think beyond that, can't really interact with anything else in this room, question mark, and we'll just keep jumping. This is a dead end, so we do have to make our way back out, and our step count has gone down 2, which means walking through doorways is actually going to be what causes us to lose steps. We probably don't want to dead end this guy, if possible. Let's see here, what do we got? We've got a Nook, we've got a Parlor, and we have a chapel. We don't have any money, so the chapel might not be a terrible play. Yeah, I think we go chapel here. I'll get to the chapel in a second, but since I know that my steps are limited, and I don't want to backtrack as much as possible, we're just going to see what goes on over here. If stuff is left locked, that means I'll probably need to use one of these keys that I'm finding, which means it would probably be good to have that later on so I don't dead end myself super late into a run if some of these doors can be locked. In the interest of not running out of stuff, let's just go with the spare room for now. Spare room is pretty barren. There's not any paintings here. I think with that we're probably okay to go to the next room. Okay. Storeroom, bedroom, pantry. I'm okay doing a dead end here on this side. So we'll do storeroom here. Okay, cool. Now my only way forward is through the chapel, which isn't the worst thing in the world. If I loop it around, I might be able to just avoid this penalty. It also looks like there are some paintings further in here. Is it like flan? Looks like a flan here. I'm not sure what to make of this. I've been walking around with notes. I feel like they should just like close out immediately, but they don't. So I apologize if I leave them up. Like this is a really weird painting, I think. I think the paintings are significant because we've seen it in most of the rooms at this point. Like it could be like a topographical sort of thing here. I think I'm just going to call it like a curtain/fabric for now. So we're going to lose this dollar that we grabbed here. Could be worse, I suppose. We're down to 44 steps, and we've only really explored like the back rank here of the world. So haven't gotten super deep into anything. Hopefully we can restore steps, but we'll see. If I have to count the number of candles on these sort of desks, I am going to lose my shit. Looks like there are different statues actually, and also different murals. This feels like I'm gonna have to take note of a lot of things. That looks like 6, 4, 1. There might be a 7-digit sequence or something that uses like pictograms of these characters, and I need to keep note of these 7. Because the only other thing that I can think of is like maybe there's something to do with these statues here, but there's not really any sort of like clear numbering on them like there is for these guys. So okay, we're gonna write down for the chapel room. So we'll say 1 looks like a farmer, 2 looks like a baker, 3 also looks like a farmer. Okay, 1 is like farmer with wings. 5 looks like almost like a chimney sweep. Or 4, not 5. 5 looks like painter or cleaner. 6 looks like a jockey. Chicken jockey. I don't think that has anything to do with anything. It just looks like Holly, maybe in like reference to Mount Holly. But last thing is 7. Kind of looks like a Valkyrie or some sort of royalty. And the last thing I think I want for this room is sort of the orientation of these guys kind of looking into the room. We're drawing a room that looks like this. And we're saying, this is where I am. So maybe we're going to say, this is the entrance. So we're going to say 1 is here. It looks like 2 is here, 3 is here. Looks like 4 is here. 5 is here. 6 is here, and this is kind of where 7 sits. So VII. Remember this. Maybe it'll be important one day. Let's see. This is going into room 9. So for room 9, we need a hook that goes... I guess we can open the blueprint map and see, huh? So we can see that the den is going to dead end in one of these spots. The hallway is also going to dead end in one of these spots. And the corridor does not dead end. I don't really like any of these options because these 2 are going to dead end. But I think with this in mind, corridor is probably the way to go. Also interesting to note, there's no paintings from what it looks like in the chapel. But here we go, into the corridor, which is room 9. The only thing of note that I'm seeing are these paintings. Wait a second. We have a bat. We have a bath. Those are very close in how you say them. Okay. Interesting. Literally, these are like a letter different. This H is the only thing that's different about them. We'll keep that in mind. If we see anything else that's like a letter off, maybe we need to start building like some sort of code with these. I'm not 100% on that though. Next room. Den is an interesting one because now it doesn't dead end and we get access to sort of the last first rank area. I think I like Den here for the possibility of going up, and I get an extra gem. So this is room number 10, the Den. Okay, this one also has a clock, so I feel like the passing of time is important. Okay, hang on a second. Wait a fucking second here. Den 10. Shut up. It's fine. It's funny. The thing that I was most interested in here, other than the fact that there is a giant clock, is the paintings here, okay? The paintings, we have car and we have cart. Notice again how it's off by 1 letter. I don't know what this means yet, but I have a feeling that some of these other paintings I've just like misidentified Like, I don't know what the curtain fabric is or the flan pudding is, but if I can identify it, I bet these are also like pretty similar. I don't know what the ace and the queen are, but again, I think I'm onto something here. It happening twice, it feels like it's not a coincidence. But I'm gonna definitely keep taking note of the paintings because that has been panning out very beautifully. The trunk is locked. So there's a trunk in the den as well. Maybe I open the trunk, see what's in it. Why not? Just to satiate the curiosity of not knowing. It's 3 keys. Spend a key to get 3. What a deal. I assume the loot in the trunk is actually just going to be randomly generated, but I'm going to write down that I get 3 items, which is actually better than the closet. I think south is better for less backtracking, so let's open that first. If there's anything that ends, that might be nice. Locksmith does end. I kind of want to do that one. Keys for sale. I don't need to buy any keys because I have them. Also, I don't have any money, so I'm not going to waste my time going in there. Just know we have that now, and if I need more keys, I guess we can go back and get some. But I think the better play is to go north for now. Secret passage looks like it takes us further north. It also costs a gem, so some rooms require different gem counts. I don't know what the significance of room color is right now. If there's like specific room colors that we have to do in specific orders, that might be really annoying. No, because I haven't run into like a purple room or a white room. I was thinking maybe those flowers we saw in the entryway or the entrance hall might be significant, but so far I haven't really seen anything that like needs that. We are pretty low on money, so I think the pantry might be a good play here. Just so we have kind of a decent amount of money, keys, and gems. And it saves up our gems as well. Plus 4 money. The other thing of note is a note and an apple. We've got peas, and I'm trying to keep in mind like this idea of like maybe they're like a letter off, but I don't know because it looks like mountains and peas in a pod. I don't know that those are like a letter off. So maybe my thinking is off here, or maybe I'm just not getting the word that they're trying to communicate with this. But we'll write down the paintings anyway. We'll take my $4 because we already noted that. But we'll read the note here first. Bridget, please pick up some more fruit before Friday, as we have just been informed that we may have an extra guest exploring the house next week. 50 steps should be more than enough, so I think an even spread would be an ideal. 5 apples, 5 bananas, 5 oranges. The enclosed amount should cover expenses, but please bring back any change from the order and leave it in the pantry. Okay, so I don't know if this is like a code or anything, but we're going to say 5 apples plus 5 bananas plus 5 oranges. We're going to say that this all equals 50 steps. And since there's an apple here and it looks like I can consume it, let's just see how much this is. 2 steps. We'll probably have to exit out this way. It's the only exit we've got. It looks like every time you've drafted Observatory, the language here makes it sound like Observatory is useful on multiple days. So it's not necessarily useful on day 1, but maybe on day 10, if we've drafted Observatory, it's useful. I don't know, but that's what I'm getting from that language. Nook, I get a key immediately. Maybe we get some paintings, it looks like. I definitely get some paintings with guest bedroom, but yeah. All right, we'll see what Nook does. We don't have to spend any gems for this. So we've got a clock, and we've got a lock. Okay, no, I am definitely onto something with that. Hang on. Is there any notes or anything on the... There is! Ooh, okay, a journey noteworthy. As you continue on your adventure, you may want to consider getting something to scribble down your notes and observations. A pad, scrap of paper, perhaps most fittingly, a journal will prove to be an invaluable tool as you will not regret having beside you on your journey. Hey guys, I am just a little bit ahead of you guys on the whole make sure you have notes thing. Hint, take notes. LOLOLOLOL. So funny. Way ahead of you, game. Last thing of note, I think, in here is the paintings. That leaves us with this C. I swear to God, we're on to something here, but we're going to take some time to figure out. Ka-chow. We're still on day 1, by the way. Barely into the manor. So we need to go, well, the only place we can go is straight north. Even if this is locked, that's not a huge deal. I like the hallway here, I think, because it opens things up more. Yeah, I think we'll just go hallway, saves our gems. Let's see here. What do we got? Brush. This looks like another fir tree. Jesus. Or a match? Or fire and fur? Maybe? Wait, okay, no, wait. That actually works. What the fuck? Okay, hang on. This is, what is this? Room, so 16, 17, 18, 19. This is room 19 hallway. Fire and fur. And I'm gonna highlight this E again, because it's the odd letter out here. There doesn't appear to be much in here. Maybe hallways are a little more barren. What do we want to do? First, let's take a quick peek at this note. So doors in the west wing are more likely to be locked. I'm going to take note of 2 things about this note because I feel like they are significant because they weren't the same black notes as the other notes before. I'm going to write this in red, and I'm actually going to type this out because this was typed out. So this is kind of how I'm going to represent this kind of note. It's typed and it's red. I think that's significant. Maybe I'm just being annoying, but this is how I want to play the game, okay? Leave me alone. Bedroom's a dead end. Parlor is not a dead end. Drafting room, dead ends in one direction. I like Parlor here just because it is like a place where it keeps going. I'm blue da bu dee da bu die. Also, these paintings, sand and... Okay, come on, like, we'll just write a plus because the word is actually just and. It looks like there is a note to read here. Dear Herbert, it was an honor receiving the invitation to dine at your estate with the Oldhams this past Thursday. If I'm being frank, it had been quite a while since we had been in decent society, and we were beginning to worry that my wife's wit had lost its charms. I have no delusions that my company is rival to hers. If I can refresh your memory, we both spent much of that evening discussing our mutual love of games and puzzles, and I had mentioned to you a rather singular parlor game I had played some years back involving 3 boxes of different colors. You would press me to write with the particulars of this game when I found the time, and I have included with this letter all the details you will need to share with your guests should you be inclined to play this confounding game. Always your friend, M. Laurie. And it looks like this letter is dated May the 2nd. Okay, so the game, we got 3 boxes. 1, always true. 1 is always false. 1 has a prize, the other don't. It could be in any of these 3 boxes at any point. Looks like we got like a little crank thing to insert into the box. Okay, so let's read through the logic puzzle. We'll see if this is actually good. All 3 boxes contain gems. So this is a false one. One of these has to be true. The other one can be either. The other 2 boxes contain gems. This is also false, so this one has to be true. This box contains gems. Ka-chow. I wonder if it always contains gems or if it contains more than just gems. But we got a couple of gems out of it, which is pretty nice. The only way forward here is just straight up. So let's see what lies in room 25. I'm stuck between the bedroom and the drawing room because we have the gems now to do a drawing room, I guess. Yeah, I think we'll do a drawing room. Okay, so holy cow, there are so many images. Am I supposed to find the 2 images that are like different? No, no, I'm not. 10 and tent. Is there anything else we can interact with in the room? Yes. Okay, there is a little thing there. There's a phone dial pad that I can't interact with. Ooh, we can interact with this guy. That opens up a number lock thing. That doesn't help me much at all because I don't know the code. Unless the code is written in the room somewhere. There is a number associated with Herbert Sinclair, isn't it?
In witness whereof I have hereunto set my hand this 8th day of March 1993.
So, like, this was, like, his day. So, the 18th of March. Might be the other way around. Okay, maybe 0318. No. Okay, I have no idea. And then there's one other thing in this room that we want to maybe take note of, which is this drawing floor plans sort of deal here. So each time you click on a door, you will draw 3 floor plans, from which you must select one to draft. However, there are some items and rooms that will allow you to redraw if you do not like your initial 3 options. So if I don't like where the room options are going, I can always redraw it one time to see another set of 3. I will take note of the fact that there is a safe to activate. Click on lamp. It's like a candle arm or whatever, like a candelabra arm. Who knows? But the point is, like, you have to just click this dude. There's also another clock here that also slowly moves. All right, so let's see. Where do we want to go? I think I'm just going to try and get as far through the manor as we can. The door is locked. I don't know. Special key. Okay, so the silver key is a special key. I don't know what it's for. Apparently it's special. Let's see if a regular key does the trick. Sure does. Okay. Do I want to redraw here? Probably not. I think between the boudoir and the East Wing Hall, we probably have a pretty good selection here. I don't think the greenhouse is the way to go here. I think East Wing Hall, probably. Well, maybe we want to open this and see what it is. Passageway blocks us off. Dining room blocks us off. Bedroom is blocked off. We'll redraw. All of those are terrible. Courtyard blocks us off in one direction. Boudoir is blocked off. And then lavatory is just a dead end. I guess I'm curious what the lavatory is. HSS, so that's the name of Grandpa. We've got a chart and a cart. Oh my god, okay. No, this is literally it. Is there anything to interact with here other than that? No, it looks like the paintings might be the only significant thing in the room. So that's the lavatory explored for the most part. I don't see a way to interact with anything else. Kind of a disappointing room. Can't even flush the toilet. What a world we live in. Can't even flush a toilet anymore. So now we're in the East Wing Hall, which is room 30. Over here we have a shore and a coat. Coat and coast? Oh, okay. Okay, no, I got it. Okay. Anything else to interact with here? Does not appear to be the case. Kind of a disappointing couple of rooms, but at least this one opens up. This room is really shit, honestly, based. We'll add that to the notes. Amazing. That's basically all we have to look at in the East Wing Hall, which, you know, a little annoying. So now the question is, do we go out or up? I think we do both. All the doors are locked, man. It's crazy out here. Courtyard leaves a lot open for me, and so I'm actually okay going Courtyard here. Commissary was also an okay pick, but I only have $4, and I don't know how much that'll get me. God, I really don't like any of these. And maybe the bedroom would be okay, because I gained 2 steps, so it's like a neutral room. It's a dead end, but I get my steps back at least. All right, I've talked myself into it. We'll go bedroom. Why not? I'm just exploring, man. We'll explore a little. I already have the courtyard up ahead, which definitely opens things up. Greetings from Reddington. So we have 2 locations now that are like kind of significant to us. One is Mount Holly, and now the other one is Reddington.
I, Herbert S. Sinclair of the Mount Holly estate at Reddington.
And I don't know whose bedroom this is, so that might be something else that we need to figure out. And yeah, as you can see, the room is boarded off because the stupid, shitty lavatory is in the way. We've got a photo of woman with crescent moon necklace. We have a deer and a stage and elk. I don't know what the fuck am I supposed to be looking at here? It looks like a deer. Wildlife. Glad I can't identify any of it. The antler creature. Dude, the antlers. The reindeer. Let's not get turned around. Let's get out into the east hallway and out into the courtyard. Looking for any sort of like loose items on the ground potentially. It's another trunk, so I don't see any paintings. This is kind of a crappy room. I'm gonna be real. Not every room is gonna be a banger, okay? Considering how many rooms are locked here towards the end, I kind of want to save as many keys as I can, so I don't think we'll go and open that trunk. Let's see what is in door number 1 here. 4 items is actually pretty huge. Yeah, I think I'm okay on steps right now. I think we're just going to go for the items. Got running shoes, looks like. Pair of running shoes. Occasionally save steps when traveling longer distances across the estate and grounds. Where are the paintings? Oh, there's a little... Okay, so it looks like flan again and fan. Okay, so this was flan and fan. So the odd letter out is L. Okay, and it looks like the 4 random items are on the table here. Did I get 4 items? Am I stupid? Did I miss an item somewhere? Oh, I did. Okay. We got a lockpick kit. Occasionally be able to unlock normal doors. Missing something in a puzzle game could never be me. Honestly, it will never be me, okay? I will look until the ends of the earth to find everything. So I think that's about all we needed in this room. So let's get out of this and back on track. We do have an extra key now, and we have a lockpick kit. So if this goes well, I am comfortable opening that trunk because I feel like we can maybe make it to the antechamber. Lockpick kit E. I can't pick the door. Okay, well, we'll try that trunk some other time. Good news, we will be on rank 8 once we reach the dining room. I assume it serves food, and food has so far recovered steps. So my guess is that the dining room will do that. The dining room opens us up for more options, and I think I like that more than the rumpus room. So we'll go with dining room. Guest bedroom just ends our run. Well, it makes us have to walk back a ton, so. Ka-chow. Also, there is some coinage on the side of the wall here. Look for paintings. Oh, there's some paintings. We've got plant and plan. So T is the letter of the day. So that is basically all we needed to know. Let's see how good this is. Lemon glazed salmon. Plus an additional 10 steps if you have an aquarium in your house. Okay, so we can choose to have dinner later. Plus 20 steps now. Let's see if we draft an aquarium in our sort of last moments here before we reach the antechamber. All the rooms are RNG, so this could be screwing us because we've been building a lot of the same types of rooms, so the ones that are left are less likely to be the ones we want. I think we start by going up. That seems reasonable. Hearing lemon glazed salmon made my face swell up. Fair. Lemon glazed anything is just going to be like kind of the sour glaze, but I think it'll be fine. Lemon and fish, usually it works. I feel like either of these options are fine. I am a little lowish on gems, so maybe we save until we can't anymore. And welcome to rank 9, I guess, as well. We've kind of just gone all the way to the back, just straight up speed ran, going to the back of the rooms. Oh, okay, there's like a Christmas photo. Looks like there's a safe in this room. Oh, this is the safe. Okay, where's all the Christmas shit? I have a theory what we can try with the safe, but I have no fucking clue if it'll work. Last time it didn't work in the drawing room, so take my word with a grain of salt. And this is room 45 of potentially 46, right? So with the boudoir, we have a photo of Xmas. That is 12/25. And we have a safe. We're going to try this date, see if it works. If it doesn't, nothing lost. We do have a couple of these. We have a fire and painting the world. Oh, Jesus. This is so abstract. It's like a crate and create. I don't know how I feel about create being the word here, but it works well enough. We'll try opening the safe. Syncaco. 1225. And that actually worked. So the combo to the safe was actually just... It actually just was. I like that. Okay, so let's take note of what's in the safe. There's a number 4. Oh boy, a letter. Okay. To HSS from who knows. And let's see if there's a date as well that we can glean from this. So far, the only thing I've been able to open a safe with is a date. And this 4 might also be significant, so I wanted to write that down. Herbert, I was distraught to learn that you have chosen to omit the details of our dear Marian's disappearance from the public record. It is no surprise to me that the royal court would want this embarrassment kept as quiet as possible, but I am shocked that you have so little regard for your niece that you would play the king's scullion and stoop to kissing the foot that treads upon her memory. She gave up her family, her fortune, and her life, and all you can do is think of your name. Having never had a family name nor fortune of my own, I cannot personally condemn you for faltering in your commitment to make the same sacrifices she did. But for the love of God, do not by that same display of weakness clutch your petty assets so tightly that you undermine the cause that she forfeited everything to further. Our countrymen must be made aware of the price she paid and must be made to see that the color of the flag she flew as she rode into the darkness of 100 nights. To deny her story is to deny her life. It is through your silence you bless this betrayal, our son Simon, your heir. Okay, it's weird. We're getting brought up here. I assume this is us. If through your silence you bless this betrayal, our son Simon, your heir, will inherit a fortune of lies and will spit upon your grave when he learns of your cursed foolishness. Needless to say, we will not be coming for Christmas this year, Daniel. Marian wasn't, or was it? Mary Matthews. Okay, hang on, wait a second. This message is from Daniel, which is presumably dad of Simon. Damn, Daniel, that was aggressive. Bro, you can't just damn Daniel him. What the fuck? That's crazy. It looks like this is talking about the death of Simon's mom. Mary is covered up by HSS. Daniel seems to think that we, Simon, are going to hate Herbert for covering up this death. Something along those lines. And, considering this is literally his wife, it makes sense why Daniel's so fucking pissed about this. Boudoir, very aggressive room for no fucking reason. So coming out of the boudoir, looks like if we have a room straight forward, we can get into the antechamber. Oh, it looks like there's a red envelope on the thing now. Okay, so we can see maybe the number of envelopes we've read, but maybe these are different colored notes because it doesn't have the 4 on it, which maybe indicates that the 4 wasn't as important as I thought. Lockpick. Oh my god, it worked. Okay. All of these suck ass. Are you kidding me? Oh, god damn it. Okay. At this point, we probably just want to go Observatory here, because we have the dining room, so we're not going to run out of food. Okay, Observatory it is. We've got a fern. Come on. Where's the other painting? And a fire. Okay, fur and fire again. This E looks to be the odd letter out. Not really sure what this big-ass telescope is for. Oh, we can move it with that. Okay, we'll interact with that in a second. Fidget toy, let's go! I can press that a million times and I don't think this affects anything. The Fixed Stars, The Stargazer's Companion to Constellations by Richard Witt. Preface, this book contains a complete star base, a list of constellations, and the observed effect that accompany the appearance of each one, depending on the number of stars that can be seen in the sky on any given day. Different constellations of various sizes may be visible, sometimes more than one on a single day. This book, a solid base for astronomy, will help you easily identify these constellations, impress your friends, and discover the joy of stargazing. I hope we find Alberio, which is a false double star. Okay, North Star, +1 gold. Can you imagine writing this in a book? +1 gold. And then, like, somebody's like, the fuck does that mean? A gold? Why do I get a gold out of it? The twins, 2 trunks have been added to the entrance hall. They're like, what the fuck is the entrance hall? Like, this is just, who's Richard Witt? Obviously, Richard Witt's somebody who knows something about this estate. The slice, 3 steps added. Diamondus Minor, +1 gem. The Southern Cross, rooms with 4 doors are more common today. It's like passageway, I guess. Farmer's Apple, apples are extra delicious today. Clavis the Key, +1 key. Diamondus Major, +5 gems. Draxus the Dead, dead end rooms are more common today. Ugh. The Sale, everything is 50% off today. Floralis, Bloom of the Sky. Good luck getting me to say that again. Green rooms are more likely to contain special flowers today. And that's the end of the book. We go from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We skip over 6 to 7, 8. 9 and 10 are skipped as well. To 11, 12. And then we just go 15, 20. Apples are extra delicious. I don't know what the fuck this means. Maybe it gives you more steps. I have no idea, dude. Like, I'm writing down what's here, okay? Apples are delicious. The delicious apple. Thank God I know that apples are gonna be delicious. Maybe we'll write down that the book is by Richard Witt. God, it sucks, you know. Imagine your nickname being Dick Witt. I mean, come on. Okay, we can interact with this. So there's more than one wheel. And we have to move both of those wheels in order to get the telescope to look out, I think. And that's how we see the stars. Come on. Come on, dude. Like, you're right there. You're right there. Okay. So we got the North Star, gain $1. Cool. It looks like it was just added to my inventory. So that's that. Antechamber would be in this direction, but we do not have a door, so we will have to traverse this way. Oh, good. Lockpick kit. Can't unlock the door. Regardless of what I draft here, we're kind of having to backtrack a ton all the way to the hallway. The good news is the nursery here will give us an extra 5 per bedroom that we draft. So I think nursery is the way to go. Okay, there's a book here. The Red Prince by Marion Marigold. Wait a second. Mary Matthews was the name of the mom. Maybe she had a different name at some point. So this is a book written by her, maybe? First, let's see if there are any paintings. There's a crow and a crown. Okay, that's easy. And that means that our letter is N. Next thing we notice is a book by Mom. This is the Red Prince, which obviously is a little bit different from the name of the game, Blue Prince. Now, in fairness, I don't 100% know if this is by Mom, so I'll just leave a question mark. But like, I think there's a thematical reason why not blue, you know? There's some question here. We're curious, we're learning. Ooh, a Rubik's Cube. I know how to solve those, actually. There's also 2 cribs, interestingly enough. So maybe I am not the only child. Okay, yeah, actually, that's a good point. I'm just trying to figure out, like, maybe I have a sibling, you know? Maybe this is, like, a different kids. Maybe this is actually, my mom or some other person. I don't know. Let's go through and read this book now. The Red Prince by Marion Marigold. There was a red prince who sat on a red throne. He had a red crown made of rubies and a red castle made of stone. The prince had a love for all things red. It's the only true color, the prince often said. He could not stand the sight of a canary or a crow. He could not stand the white of a swan in the snow. And he never looked up for fear of the view. He had heard the sky was not a red hue. So he always had a book to turn his eyes down if he was ever outside when the clouds weren't around. And do you know which book the prince always had? The one that made him happy whenever he was sad? A story he had read in the bath and the bed, and maybe you can guess with the clues that we have said. It was the story of a boy who also wore red, and he looked like our prince from his toes to his head. And as you, my reader, might already assume, this book is quite near you, in fact, in the same room. A story about you, if it needs to be said, about a red prince and his book, the red book we just read. And that is the end of the book. So, okay, something about, like, red being, like, close-minded, maybe? Maybe red equals comfort / close-minded. I don't know. These are, like, some basic things I'm taking away from, like, just what we've read. Read. Okay, nice. We go out the observatory and into the boudoir and then into the dining room. At this point, the only thing we haven't done is eat our salmon. We did not get an aquarium. I think at this point, we're not coming back up this way. So, let's eat. So now, we just move on straight through until we hit the parlor, it looks like. Okay, so here we have an attic, which we can't afford, a kitchen, which takes us the wrong way, and a bunk room, which is a dead end. All of these kind of suck. No, actually, I think the bunk room sucks the least. I think we go bunk room. Okay, no, I talked myself into it. Let's see here. Camp Colonel. Remember that guy that we were saying looks like Colonel Sanders, Mr. Herbert? We get 2 keys out of the bunk room, which is nice. And we also got an extra 10 steps because of the nursery. Very nice. Turtles of Vera. I don't know if that's actually significant. The Trinsdale Mystery. Oh, there's a hamster. Aww. Oh, is he going to run on the wheel? Oh, hell yeah. Now this is some gameplay. This looks like a stage, but it's not. Huh. Plant? I don't know, dude. This stage one is confusing me. I'll have to think on that. I've taken notes on less of the clutter because I've noticed that a lot of this clutter probably isn't as important as I'm making it out to be. Okay, let's start reading. Ciao. Today is a good day because Simon is at camp and he is not as much fun as my friends. I will not have to share my toys and I will not have to share my room and I will not have to share my snacks. Having a younger brother is not as much fun as they told me it would be, but today will be a good day because he is at camp. Okay, so straight away, this room confirms Simon has older bro. I'm potentially the youngest in my family is what it sounds like. Is there more? Herbie is mean and really stupid, and today is a good day because I threw away his airplane. I think this is me. I also had more fun at camp than he has had in his entire life. Today is a good day because I got my brother in trouble for reading my private journal without my permission and writing mean things in it too. He also threw my model airplane in the bushes outside, but I got it back, and if he does it again, he will not get to go to the park on Friday, and I will make sure he gets no presents for his birthday. So petty. I don't need any presents because I have my brother's book because he won't stop writing about me, and today's a good day because I know he cries when he can't find his book even though he is older. He is a crybaby. Today is a good day because today my brother returns from college and I finally get to return to him the book I took from him a long time ago. Hopefully you find it as hilarious as I do. I honestly have no idea how we survived sharing a room. All things being said, I wouldn't have it any other way. I would still rather have had a sister. Congrats on the diploma and welcome home, Simon. Okay, cool. I think it's safe to say that this is us. Herbie, for some reason, is what we call our brother. Might just be Herb. Although, hang on. Herb is also the name of our grandpa. So is he like a senior and we have a junior? Or are we named after... Oh, maybe we're named Simon after his younger brother. That might also be possible. Maybe an alt theory, okay? Player character is not Simon. We've got like a couple of running theories based on this one room, but it's really confusing because the older bro is named Herbie, which throws a lot of like really weird questions at us of like who is who, because it's not like 100% clear. Okay, let's see here. We want to go to the chapel, I think. I'm not minding my steps too much because we have literally over 50 right now, and we're almost back to the chapel. And we're going to lose the 1 coin we got from the astronomer. What an amazing buff. I mean, come on. I think the only one that doesn't completely dead-end me is security, which is really annoying because we're missing out on an extra door that security provides, and that sucks, but we got to do it. I can't end the run yet. This is room number, 7? So, security is 7. Okay, let's see what's in here. Oh. Uh-oh. That's a cutscene. Okay. So we're walking in. This is probably the best look we're going to get at our player character. Or maybe this is a flashback scene. I have no freaking idea, man. There's just a ton of different monitors showing every single room. Amazing. I don't know why we're focusing so much on every single one. Maybe there's a hint in here somewhere. I feel like I'm getting nothing from this. There's a music room? I didn't know that. Oh man, I have my notes up over this cutscene. I'm so sorry, guys. Whoopsie doodle. Look, I never said I was a pro. If I step back, does it step back in the security screen too? It doesn't look like it does. Oh, okay, it only works adjacent to the desk. So if I step way back... Oh no, now it works. Or look this direction and then look quickly? No, it doesn't change. Okay, whatever. I don't care. There's a coffee, there's a... Card tape 2, 3, QWERTY keyboard. Wait, does this have all the letters of QWERTY? Hang on a second. O-P. Wait, it's missing an I. So it's just missing I? This keyboard's missing I. That's kind of funny. This is the Wii keyboard. There is no I in Wii. Blue memos equal true, red memos equal lies, unless written by hand. Okay. And you remember when I typed out one of those red memos? Doors in the West Wing are more likely to be locked. So this is actually just a fucking lie. This is a lie. Maybe that just means that doors in the West Wing are not more likely to be locked than any other room. Or maybe doors in the West Wing aren't locked. I don't know what that means. Okay, we have a few different things. We got stairs and stars. And that means that the I here is the... Wait, hang on. The keyboard didn't have an I. And that's also the significant thing. That might be a coincidence. I'm reading too much into things. Staff noticed. Effectively, the first week of December, payroll for all live-out and seasonal staff will be managed electronically. As your attendance will no longer be registered at morning roll call, it is doubly important that you do not fail to clock in and out at one of the electronic computer terminals on the estate. So this is a hint telling us that there's multiple computers on the estate. This is just the first one we've discovered. 2 of these terminals can be found at security, where the punch clock used to be, and in the laboratory. Okay, so the security and the laboratory, keep in mind, we haven't run into the laboratory yet, but keep in mind that the laboratory also has one of these computer terminal things. Any questions or concerns regarding this process should be directed, as always, to our house manager, Mrs. Babbage. Terminal password. Hang on, I'm gonna get like really close to my monitor here. This is gonna be really awkward. Okay, I can make out like 7 of 8 letters if I get really close to my monitor. Let me tell you what I see here. We'll do another one of these moments, okay? So what I see in this is there's an S here, there's a G here. It's a little hard to see, but yeah, it's a G. This looks like a W. This looks like an A. This looks like an N. This looks like an O. And this looks like an N. So it looks like Swan blank Ong. This middle one is really, really messed up. So if we have Swan blank ONG as our password, then this might be Swan Song. Swan Song might work. Let's see. Maybe. Log into network. Okay, Swan Song. Password accepted. Okay, cool. It was that easy. They just wrote the fucking password down, so. Staff services, remote terminal access, electronic mail, data transfers, glossary of terms, and logout. I don't know what any of these is. Electronic time card. The service has been temporarily disabled. As of November 4th, another date. Let's just write that down real quick. All work has been suspended at Mount Holly in domestic, and all domestic staff has been placed. Hang on, let me just remove this. Has been placed on an extended paid leave in accordance with the instructions left by the old man himself. See Mrs. Babbage for more detail. Miss Babbage, or Mrs. Babbage, has been somebody who has been brought up multiple times, so I think it's probably worth writing down. Mrs. Babbage. Return to staff services. Staff announcements. Saturday, November 7th. I don't think anyone else has access to this network this month except you, Simon. So if you're reading this, just know we're all rooting for you, your friends in faithful service. Okay. So somewhere between the 4th, when it was disabled, and the 7th, they are saying something about me being the one that has access to this network. Maybe. Maybe someone else is named Simon who has access to this network. I'm just assuming it's me at this point because, like, it's really weird to assume that someone else would have access at this point. What I'm getting from this is that the month is likely November, possibly December. Although I will say it is kind of funny that the 18th of March was the date that was given to the will, but that's just the date he wrote the will on. Might not necessarily have any like link here, but this is like 1993 or later. We're looking in a November 1993 or later. Request schedule change. This looks like another repeat of punch in out special orders. If you would like to get a specific brand of gum or your favorite fruit, the commissary is now taking special orders for all members of the staff. Special orders can take 1 to 3 days. Place a special order. What would I like? Oh my god, there are so many options. There's surprisingly no lockpicks, so either those are really strong items or we just don't have them. But, okay. What sounds the most useful? That's the question. To me, I think the metal detector sounds the most useful, because it sounds like I can find coins and keys using that. Potentially. We'll put in a request for the metal detector. Estimated to take 1 to 2 days. And I would need the commissary for that. Electronic mail. Permissions of this terminal do not allow for access to the electronic mail account. Currently, this feature can only be accessed via the terminal located in the office. Okay, so terminal locations. Security, the laboratory, and now we know that there is a terminal in the office. Remote terminal access. It is possible to connect to other active terminals elsewhere on the estate using RTA. View active terminals. Office, laboratory, and there's also the shelter. Okay, hang on. That's all the stuff from the network that you can get, I think. Estate inventory and keycard system. Security doors are doors within the estate that can only be unlocked with an electronic keycard. The keycard system is currently operational. Offline mode is locked. This mode determines the default setting the security doors will be set to if power is lost during a blackout, for example. As a general safety rule, offline mode should be set to unlocked if any staff are working in the estate. In case of a blackout, I guess it just turns it off. Security level. Security level determines the amount of keycard security doors that will be deployed in your estate. You should expect to see 1 to 2 security doors with a low setting or 5 to 6 with a high setting. So I think this depends on if I have a keycard item, and it doesn't appear that I do. So low is what I want to set it to right now. But if I had a keycard, I would set it to high. Or I guess if there was a power outage, I'd also set it to high. Return to security menu. View estate inventory. So this is currently the stuff in the house that is yet to be collected. 2 trunks. I know where one of the trunks is. I didn't see a second, but I guess I missed a trunk somewhere. Oh yeah, let's read these. Keycard access, security doors are more likely to appear at the higher ranks of the estate. Likewise, as a redundant security measure, normal doors in the estate will also be more likely to be locked as you progress north. Okay, that makes sense. Until further notice, the antechamber has been unlocked and access levers are no longer required to grant entry. So it sounds like the antechamber is locked up and I need security levers or access levers. I have not seen a single access lever, which means I can't access the antechamber. Because the antechamber is so locked away from me, I'm starting to wonder if this is sort of the key to finding room 46. Yeah, let's head north, out of security finally. I know this is a huge detour. 7 locked doors is a lot, but I mean, it's fine. We'll go with Great Hall. We do have the lockpick, so maybe we'll be able to get some fun stuff out of this. Let's start with this first one. I'm pretty sure this one is just going to be a guarantee for me. I probably should have tried the lockpick first. This is terrible. Regardless of how I build this, I can't build the ballroom, so we either have to do a mailroom or a guest bedroom, and I think between the two of these, the mailroom probably seems the best. It doesn't have any paintings as well, I notice. Maybe it has them behind the doors or something. I don't know. Lockpick? Okay. Let's just try lockpicking the doors, see if that helps. Ta-da! Okay, that worked. See if we can pick any of the other door locks while we're at it. Oh, and this is an empty one. Glad I didn't waste a key on that. And okay, so we kind of have roulette here with, or these two, I guess. I imagine it'll probably be something similar to this guy. So I don't really want to mess with that too much. Unless I want to dead end, I'm probably just going to go this way. West Wing Hall is actually probably the best, so we'll go with that. Crow and row. Okay, cool. This is crow plus row. So that C is indeed the letter we need. If I have the ability to at some point, I would like to check all 7 Great Hall doors. But right now, I just don't have the keys for it. So, okay, there's a note there. I'll read that in a second. Yeah, okay, cool. Let's see this. Staff notice. June 15th, 1983. Out of respect for the late Lady Clara Epson, the West Wing will be closed until further notice. While the floor plans associated with this wing have not been removed from the pool, we ask that staff members refrain from drafting them during this period of mourning. Likewise, any staff may draft... okay. That's the unimportant part. Maybe, potentially, I don't know. I'm going to write down the last few words here on the notice because it was cut off, just in case we find another note that we need to connect this to. Who knows? Well, maybe we'll find it, maybe we won't, but just want to make sure we're prepared for any situation. Okay, going down, if we get a dead-end room, that would actually be pretty good to get that out of the pool. Utility closet is perfect here because we have plenty of steps, so we don't need the guest bedroom yet. And we get access to this breaker box, which we can mess with. Ba-ba! Plain plan. Okay. And so this E is the magic letter. We've got so many of these letters at this point that I have a feeling this lines up somewhere. And it doesn't look like there's much of anything else. No other, like, special items that we can pick up. Gymnasium, I remember sucking, so we'll turn that off. Dark room. I don't know. It's already on. Would the dark room power being off mean it's a light room or dark room? I have no idea. I don't know what this is, but there's no breaker for it. So this might be something that's added to the pool at some point. Maybe there's a room that adds rooms to the pool. Vac indicators. Oh, we can turn all of these green. We can turn this red. Okay. And that turns it purple. Cool. I don't know what I'm supposed to get from this. Oh, okay. It's like one of those touch puzzles. Okay, wait. Oh, fuck this. Oh, God, this is terrible. Okay, hang on. So, oh, wait, okay, the corners don't matter. Oh, man, I so want to just, like, go through and, like, mess with this color puzzle for, like, 5 years. I feel like I'm just gonna get lost in this, though. Okay, wait. Okay, we got it all purple now. And then we have white. It looks like maybe we can only have one white. Okay, so I think these are the colors. Maybe we'll just say off / gray, green, blue, red, purple, and white. My guess is this has to be like a specific color combo that I just don't know yet. Because I haven't taken any notes on any color combos. But okay, that's interesting. Oh, wait, hang on a second. The other thing I haven't messed with. Keycard entry system. Off. Okay. Hopefully that just means keycards don't matter. Keycard system settings. Oh, okay. Security level is high now. Wow. Okay. Nope. I did not confirm setting. I'm curious if there's any sort of like paintings in the mailroom we can use. I mean, there's always info in the rooms. Might as well just check it out. Why not? It's a dead end anyway, so it's not like it's a huge amount of backtracking. Wait a fucking second. Dude, literally? 5 purple indicators are needed to activate the 6th. Oh, okay, hang on. Wait, this is all I found. Okay. Please return all correspondence and packages addressed to Denny Revane to sender as he is no longer employed with our staff. Oh, good lord. This is where the magnifying glass would be helpful, huh? Is there a way to maybe cheat this by... Hang on. You guys remember when my game froze earlier on my gameplay capture? That's pretty cool. What in the ever-loving fuck? It is omega jumbled. That's what I'll say. I don't think we can make that out. Yeah, that's chicken scratch. Okay, cool. Well, I'm glad we investigated, but alas, nothing came of it. We'll probably need like a magnifying glass to really make that out. Sure would be nice if along with this tutorial on how to do the puzzle box that I figured at this much out, okay, it'd be nice if we could get like the actual code for it. Coat and what in the fuck? What is this? It's like a trough. I don't know the exact item here. There is another letter here from Dad to Simon P. Jones, presumably me. There's also a stamp that I can't read that might be important. Real quick, let's see. Okay, it doesn't specify if his name is Daniel or not, but I'm assuming this is Daniel. Hey buddy, how's it going up there in that big house? I think most people would be pretty scared being alone for this length of time, but I have a feeling you're doing just fine. I imagine you happy as a clam, perfectly content on the estate with the exploration and opportunities for adventure that present themselves each day. As I'm writing this, you're currently in the garage packing the tent. I wanted to try and post this letter before we depart tomorrow so that it has a chance to arrive during your first few days on the estate, but with all the preparations, I'm not sure that I'm going to find the time. There's so much I want to say, and I'm sure I'll forget to tell you Friday night. Sometimes it's easier for me to just jot this stuff down. You're yelling at me right now to come and bring you a pillowcase. Hold on a second, I'll be right back. I can tell you're really excited, but I think you might feel a little guilty about being so happy the day after the funeral. Believe me, I know how long Uncle Herbert worked on setting this up for you, and I know from our conversations just how much happiness this final project brought him, so do us both a favor, be excited. The house is really amazing. I know it's been almost 7 years since we were last up there, and I'm really curious to hear just how much you remember from those summer trips. You've always been smarter than me at this kind of thing, so I'm not sure how much guidance or inspiration I can offer for your trip that will actually be useful to you, despite my best intentions. I'm sure that on Friday I'll end up leaving you with a few of my overused cliche expressions when we say farewell. Later, alligator, Dad. P.S. Get some sleep each night and don't spend all your time each day playing didgeridoo blocks? I have no fucking clue, dude. This is like some goofy ass shit. That's about it for this room. Yeah, okay, cool. We'll go to the West Wing Hall now and see if we can make our way north. Hopefully we don't get dead-ended. We do have quite a bit of steps, so I think we can make it pretty far. Oh boy, no. Oh god, wait. Even if we go back to the Great Hall, we can only find one extra room here that doesn't completely dead end us, so I think we just got unlucky. The guest bedroom is most likely to have interesting stuff in it, so I'm going to pick that one. Even though I don't necessarily need the steps, it's just going to have the most stuff in it. There's that queen and a car. Car. Okay, wait, hang on. Okay. And the D would be the differentiation here. Oh, thanks for the gem, finally. Something's going my way. Another note. Let's see if we can find everything else there is to see here before we pick that up. I think this might be the only thing we can interact with other than that gem we picked up. Sinclair, I just wanted to write a quick note thanking you for the weekend. I had a thrilling time on the hunt with Lord Evanson, whose particular personality somewhat made up for your own absence. I also got to appreciate your new game in the billiard room. It's been ages since I've seen the billiard room in the house. I was beginning to suspect you retired the floor plan. It was well worth the wait, though, as I always enjoy your mathematical puzzles and appreciated that I didn't need to know the rules of darts to play your variation. Hoping your health improves shortly, KL. You don't need to know how to play darts. And it's actually a math puzzle. So this is pretty close to all the notes we're going to have. You can see all of them on screen right now. In fact, if I turn off my display capture, you can see all the notes in their glory. A little hard to read them, but this is all I've gotten written down so far for this first day. This is just one day of notes. Yeah, okay, here we go. Welcome back to the Great Hall. Amazing. We're going to start with these doors. Upgrade disc. Insert into one of the estate terminals to permanently upgrade one of your floor plans. I don't know how that works, but we do have the security terminal, so I guess we can futz around with that. That does mean that the actual door is on this side. Wine cellar, it looks like it has two paintings, so we're just going to go with the wine cellar because I know I can get my paintings out of it. MCCXII. Looks like Roman numeral script. We've got fishing rod and a road. Rod and road, I think, are our two paintings. So we got rod and road, which means our letter that is off is this A. I think this is all that's in the wine cellar, though. I did notice now that I turned off my display capture, so you guys didn't get to see literally diddly squat. Yeah, hopefully that wasn't turned off for too long. Oh shit! Okay, wait, hang on. There's a tier tie. Okay, hang on. We will highlight this R. So that is that's where the paintings were hidden. So the paintings can be hidden in the Great Hall. Because that had an upgrade disc, whatever that is, I have a feeling there's something behind maybe one of these doors, maybe neither. We're gonna open this one with a special key. Silver key. Let's do it. I have nothing else to use it on, so. Unfortunately, it is empty, so that door might have something in it, it might not have anything in it. Who knows? Well, actually, hang on. There is a locksmith shop with keys for sale. So, actually, we could... you know what? It's not that far. We'll do that. We'll grab that. E to insert this disc. Upgrade floor plan. Let's see. It's gonna pick a thing at random, I guess. Hallway. Okay, we like the hallway. I will have the chance to permanently enhance this room to one of 3 different upgraded floor plans. Okay, so this is... I think this is how, on separate days, I'm able to get further through the game. Add an extra hallway to tomorrow's draft pool. Locked trunk or an extra key. I think the key is always going to be helpful. The locked trunk, I don't see how that helps me much. It just eats another key. As you can see in this run, I've been kind of dying to have more keys. And then an extra hallway might have been useful, although... Man, yeah, it only goes left and right. Going straight ahead would have been nice. I think the extra key is just the best of these. And the draft pool kind of confirms to me that there's only a limited number of rooms you can draft while you're making new rooms. I thought that was a coin for a second. It's just a lock. Unlucky. Tag. Oh, fuck me. What is this animal? Let's buy. We get a key for 5. That's all we needed. So we will buy the key and then go open the last Great Hall door. So this is the last door of the Great Hall. We'll have opened all of them on day 1, which I think is kind of cool. Boom. There is something in here. A key! Wouldn't that have been nice to get before? And a lever. This kind of looks like the antechamber, doesn't it? We pull the lever. Oh my god, wait. It opens an antechamber door. There's a crescent moon on the north one too. Hang on, hold the fucking phone. That cutscene just like opened so... hang on, we're opening notes again. God damn it. Okay, hang on. Access levers. We were told about these in the security room. One in the Great Hall. We know that the Great Hall opens the door to the east. So if we have the Great Hall, we can open the east door of the antechamber. And we know that the north door has crescent moon. Now, where else have we seen a crescent moon? Photo of a woman with crescent moon necklace. I have a feeling that this particular photo is going to be important. So I'm actually just going to circle this in blue so that we can come back to this very easily. Like it stands out in my notes. Well, okay, my notes are a little crazy, but like it stands out, I promise. Look, you can see where I boxed it, right? It's very clear. I mean, come on, it couldn't be more clear. Is there anywhere else we can explore? I don't think there is. We got basically all of the southern rooms. All the northern rooms are on the east side, which kind of sucks. Kind of wish I could have gotten a little bit further on this side, but there's not much I can do about that, unfortunately. So I think that covers it for day 1. Okay, there's one other thing we can check, and that is outside the entrance hall. Does this end the day? Ooh, time does change. Remember it was daytime earlier? Now it's nighttime. Okay, the running shoes did pop up earlier. The fountain here looking like maybe a wishing well. Don't have any coins, so I can't throw anything in it. What the fuck? Okay, yeah, this is a lot of place to explore. I think this is a pretty good place to stop, if there was any good place to stop. So I'm gonna leave it here, and we'll come back next time. We will call it a day. Call it. Let's see. Last time it called it an abandoned building. Let's see if it calls it anything different. The east-facing Inn of the Dead. Ooh, lots of dead-end rooms. Okay, that makes sense why I would call it that then. Total rooms 31, rank reached 9, steps taken 68, items found 4. Not a lot of items this run. Or maybe it is a lot of items, I don't know. Doesn't feel like a lot, but the east-heavy side, that does make sense, because I didn't really get to explore much of the west on the back end. 4 hours and 20 minutes for one day of this game. Can you believe it took me this long? Bask in the glory of these notes for like half a second with me. Like, look at how many notes we took, man. Between this stream and the next stream, I'll probably go through those random letters and see if they connect to those numbers. I have a suspicion that they might, and if they do, then I'll come back and let you guys know that. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Take care.